Hi guys, today I have another declutter video. I just finished filming the single eyeshadows declutter video, and I have a little extra time. My kids are just about to take a nap, so I thought, why not go through my foundations and do a little decluttering with those as well. I may not end up getting rid of so many in this video because a lot of them I kind of want to try them again. I want to give them like a second or third chance or fourth chance or however many chances I've given them, and then include them in my weekly makeup basket, and then give you guys my final thoughts at the end of that week and give you a review on the foundation and what my final thoughts are on it and whether I'm going to be keeping it or not at that time. So that was loud. So to get started with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, this is in matte and poreless. If you've been watching my channel for a little while now, then you know hands down this is my favorite drugstore foundation. I mean, out of any foundation that I have or any type of base, this is my favorite. The finish is really, really beautiful, and I just love the way that it looks on my skin, so I am keeping that. I love it so much that I also have a backup of it. I think I only have one use out of this one. I'm having to like really try to get the last use out of it, but anyways, and that is what I have on my skin today. And then this one right here is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. Now, although I'm not a huge fan of this foundation on its own, I have been loving mixing it in with the Fit Me foundation. Although I love the finish of this one, I don't feel like it lasts on my skin quite as long. It starts breaking down a little bit fast. It also doesn't help keep me matte as long either. This one right here though, mixing it in with this one, I get the finish of this one, but I get the longevity and the matte effect of this one. So I really, really like it. This one's in caramel beige. This one is a little bit too on the yellow side, so I always have to mix it in with a warmer foundation to make it work for me. So I am keeping this. This one I just mentioned in my weekly makeup basket. I don't know whenever this video is going up, but I mentioned it in the last weekly makeup basket, and I told you guys that I'm not a fan of this foundation. I am getting rid of it. I don't like the way that it sits on my skin. It just never blends into the skin really well. I feel like it just sits on top of the skin and it looks very, very cakey. Like I can just go like this. And I'm not a fan of that. Another thing that I don't like about it is that I feel like it clings onto every little nook and cranny, and it breaks down really fast. Within a couple hours, there's already a little bit of a breakdown of the foundation, and I'm just not willing to work with it. So this is actually going to go in the trash because I don't even want to give it to anybody. Another reason is this is honey beige, and it has a hint of a pink undertone. It doesn't complement my skin as well, so I'm getting rid of it. And then these right here are the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizers. This is what I actually used pretty much throughout my 20s. I didn't start off with a foundation, something thicker. I started off with these. These are the oil-free. I have tried the one, like the regular one. Funny enough, I think that one doesn't make me as oily as fast as these do. It's so weird. Now, although I loved these throughout my 20s, they worked with my skin at that time. I think my skin now in my 30s has changed. Like my skin type is different now, so they don't work quite as well with my skin now as they did in my 20s, if that makes sense. I feel like I get oily really, really fast, and I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan of it anymore. I do have 3 tubes. This one right here is in Tawny, which is too dark. And then this one's in Caramel, which has actually a pink undertone to it, so I always have to mix it. This one's too light and too pink, and this one's too dark, so I always have to mix the two. And for some reason, I have another Caramel. I am going to work through these because these are not cheap. They are very expensive, and I'm going to get use out of them, so I'm keeping them. And then the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. Aside from the Fit Me and the L'Oreal Infallible, these are my next favorites. I love these foundations. I have 305 and 310 because one's too light and one's too dark, so I always have to mix the two. I don't have a problem with that because these are very inexpensive. I think they're a little under $6 if I'm not mistaken from the last time that I purchased them, so I am keeping these. Nuance, I think I tried it once or twice before, and I think it's a little bit thick. I'm gonna give it another try, maybe put it in a weekly makeup basket and give you guys my final thoughts on it. Maybe use it with multiple primers to see which one it works best with, or mix it in with other foundations. But I still want to give it a try because I've only used it once, and I don't think I can have a final thought on it with just 2 uses. You know what I mean? This right here is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. I am getting rid of this. I have tried it with multiple primers. I've also tried it mixing it in with other foundations. It just does not work for me. It is too thick. Like, it's way too thick. And it's one of those foundations that, like this one right here, just never blends into the skin. It just sits on top of it, and I'm just not a fan of that. I've also tried putting oil drops in this one. Actually, in these two, the Dream Velvet from Maybelline and the e.l.f. one, I've tried putting oil drops to see if I can help it blend better, and it just doesn't work. So I'm getting rid of this one, and like I said, I'm getting rid of this one as well. This is the Visibly Lift CZ Cream, and this has an SPF 20. I bought this a really long time ago thinking, okay, because I started off with tinted moisturizers. This just doesn't really do anything for my skin. I think if anything, it would work maybe as a primer. So I'm going to try it as a primer next. So it comes up white like that, and then has little beads in it, and then when you blend it or mix, like start pressing on it, it has a hint. Like, I mean, it's less than light coverage, to be quite honest with you. The coverage is not all that great, so which is why I think I may end up using it as a primer. And then I have the Urban Decay Naked Skin. I'm finding now that I'm not a huge fan of serum foundations. They just don't work with me. I think they work better for me in the winter. But I'm finding that I don't want to buy foundations solely for a certain season. You know what I mean? Especially something this expensive. So I'm gonna work with it, maybe mix it in with other foundations because it's not cheap, but it's not my favorite. I think it looks really pretty on the skin, but I just feel like I get oily really, really fast. So maybe I'll try it with a matte primer and see if I can make it work, because it does look really pretty on the skin. Now that I'm mentioning that, I also have the, this is the Bare Minerals Bare Skin. This I have in my Project Use Up for the year. I'm keeping it clearly because I have it in my Project Use Up. But again, like the Urban Decay one, this is a serum foundation. This feels a little bit more serum-y than the Urban Decay Naked Skin. And I'm just not a huge fan of these, but anyways, I'm keeping this one because it's in my Project Use Up. And then the Magic Lumi I'm keeping because I have it in my Project Use Up as well for 2016. I also have the regular L'Oreal foundation. I don't know where it is actually, I just thought about that, but I'm keeping that one because it's in my Project Use Up as well. And then I have this Revlon Photo Ready Airbrush Effect foundation. I used it sometime last year in the summer, and I did use it quite a few times, and I did a review on it, I believe, and like I said in the review, I'm just not a fan of this foundation. It has so many noticeable shimmers on the skin, and it looks really pretty on camera, but in person I was just very self-conscious about the way my face looked, and I was just not a huge fan. So I'm just gonna get rid of it because I don't even want to mix it in with any other foundation. I'm just gonna toss it. And then I have this Rimmel BB Cream 9-in-1 Skin Perfecting Super Makeup. This is in medium dark. The coverage of this is really, really, really great. I really like it. The only thing is that it's a pink, it has a pink undertone. This is the darkest one, it's the medium to dark. It has a pink undertone, and it just doesn't look very good against my skin tone. So I'm gonna get rid of it only for that reason. Otherwise, I think this BB cream is pretty good. It's thick. It's thicker than what I expected it to be. You know, reading a BB cream, it's a lot thicker than what I thought. I am gonna get rid of it because the undertone's just not right. And then I have my MAC Face and Body. I'm keeping this. I love this foundation, especially right now when it's starting to get warmer, and I prefer to use these kind of foundations. It's more water-based, so it feels super light. It does not feel like you're wearing anything on your skin, which is amazing. Not only that, but it's water resistant. Like, dude, you're sweating and you don't want your foundation to break down, why not use something like this? It's so inexpensive to buy the small tube. I think it's like 20 bucks if I'm not mistaken, but it's totally worth it in my opinion. And it is a buildable foundation. And then I have the CoverGirl True Blend, and I have the shade Sun Beige. I've used this a few times. I really like it. I'm gonna use it in a weekly makeup basket and just kind of make my final thoughts, but from what I remember, I enjoyed it. And the Maybelline Better Skin. This is a really nice foundation. It doesn't keep me matte very long. I think this is one of those foundations. I mean, it's not meant to keep you matte, but especially right now, like it's starting to get warmer, this is not something that I would normally gravitate to, maybe only in the winter months. So I'm going to try it with a mattifying primer and see how that works. CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous. This is a really good foundation. I recommend it. I really like it, so I'm going to keep it. And then finally, I have this Cargo HD Picture Perfect CC Cream. This is a little sample that I got at Kohl's, I think it was. I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to see if I can use it as a base for, like, as a primer, basically. And then I have this Revlon 24 Hour in Natural Tan 370. This one right here. I've never used it. I bought it because I used to own the regular... what is it called? Oh my god, I can't remember anymore. It's been a couple years since I've used it, I think. The regular 24 Hour foundation. It's in a liquid form and it comes in a bottle. I love that foundation. I think I was in Toasted in that one. And so I got this one hoping that maybe I could try it sometime, and then I never tried it. So I'm gonna give this one a try. I've never used it. It does feel a little bit thick. I put it on the back of my hand, and it does look a little bit thick, and like I would get really good coverage out of it. So I'm gonna give this one a try, put it in a weekly makeup basket, and give you guys my final thoughts at that time. I think those are all the foundations. The only foundations I'm getting rid of is the e.l.f. Flawless blah blah blah. I'm just gonna get rid of it. And then I have the Photo Ready from Revlon. I'm getting rid of it, too much shimmer for me. The BB cream from Rimmel, it is good coverage, but it has a pink undertone and I'm not willing to work with it. And the Maybelline Dream Velvet, I'm getting rid of this. I don't like it, it's way too heavy for me. And everything else I am going to be keeping, and I am going to be including in future weekly makeup baskets, as well as give you guys reviews. Hopefully I can do maybe like the, what is it, when you wear it throughout the day and then you take pictures and show you guys, you know, you check in throughout the day. I don't know what those videos are called, but anyways, I'm planning on doing that with all of these foundations. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.